Hi, I'm Natalie Brito, and I'm an assistant professor here in the Applied Psychology Department. So I'm still interested in the social and cultural contexts and how they impact early brain development. Really, I'm focused on the first 3 years of life, that, the home environment and how things like poverty, growing up in a house that, where a child's exposed to multiple languages, the parent-child interaction, how those, early experiences really impact brain behavior associations. So this semester, I am teaching one class, and is a graduate level survey of developmental methods. And so it is a kind of a standard graduate course where we go through different developmental topics, starting in infancy, middle childhood, and as well through adolescence. Two topics that I'm really interested in teaching are both language, just because, as you may or may not know, children come into the world, knowing basically all the languages of the world. They're the universal listener, and with experience, they're able to kind of focus down into their own native language. The other topic that I'm really interested in teaching is anything related to public policy. So even my own research, where I'm looking at more neural mechanisms and how they relate to behavior, I always like to challenge students and say, how do we frame this so that it makes an impact on the policy level? We have an app, it's called Háblame Bebé, and so what we wanted to do was create this app that not only addresses the word gap, but particularly for Hispanic families, because a lot of Hispanic families come to the country and they're told not to speak Spanish to their children. And really early on in life, the baby needs to hear the mother's native tongue. That is the best thing that the baby can do, both for neural processes, but also for language development. I'm also setting up my own lab here. So the name of the lab is Island, so it's Infant Studies of Language and Neurocognitive Development. And we're starting a new project. It's a longitudinal study looking at the impact of both socioeconomic status and early bilingualism on memory and language development during the first 2 years of life, and really looking to see, what are these individual differences that can impact these early language and memory skills. Particularly at Steinhardt, and even within the Applied Psychology Department, there are so many people with such different expertise, but that do have some overlap with what I'm really interested in. So that's something that I'm really looking forward to doing in the next 3 to 5 years, is to reaching out to people not only in the developmental program, but also in PSI, in counseling, even in teaching and learning, and seeing the different ways that we can combine our expertise and answer some really fascinating questions.